What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined today by the man himself, Brian DeGennaro. How we doing today, Brian?
I'm fantastic, Pat. How are you?
I can't complain as usual. Listen, I do want to talk about Trey Amburgey today, right?
Let's do it.
Prospect in the Yankees AAA team. He's been absolutely raking this season. I think he would be a huge value to the Yankees Major League Club. But before we get into that, you guys know the deal. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're going live before and after every single Yankees game this season. Trey Amburgey is honestly like that guy in the Yankees farm system who's been in the organization since 2015, right? But it seems like he's never really gotten that opportunity to prove himself at the major league level. And I think if there was ever a time for him to do so, it would be this year, right? Like I mentioned, in the Yankee system since 2015, never really had like that standout year up until this season. So far in 17 games with the AAA Rail Riders, he's batting .397, .433 on base, 1,200 OPS, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs. He has a hit streak dating back to 2019. Friend of the show, by the way. Shout out to Trey Amburgey. If you guys didn't check out the Trey Amburgey video, I believe that was like March, April. Good stuff. But that's not the reason the Yankees should be calling him up. Obviously, it's part of it. But I mean, the dude's just raking. And I think when you have a guy hitting so well in AAA, especially with like the inconsistencies of the Yankees offense currently, you need to give him an opportunity. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
No, exactly. What do you have to lose? I mean, we've been looking for something to inject some life into this Yankees lineup for forever. And now they're starting to come around, which is good, but there's room for improvement still, absolutely. And outfield has been kind of dead all year. You know, you've got Clint Frazier struggling mightily. You got Brett Gardner, who's over the hill and really bad. And we need some life, right? And I think Trey Amburgey's a guy who's been awesome this year. He's hot, which is great. And I think that, it's a great opportunity for him. Let's see what the guy has. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, like if not now, then when? Because
Exactly.
let's not forget, Trey Amburgey, like I mentioned, he's been in the Yankees organization for a while now. He's 26 years old. We're not talking about a guy who's like Esteban Florial. He's still young. He still needs to improve in AAA, clearly. We're talking about a guy who's proven at the major league level that he's at the AAA level, that he's ready for the major league level, right?
Right.
I think he's proved that.
Yeah. No, and we've seen him in spring training a couple times recently. So, like, obviously the organization thinks highly of him, to give him that opportunity. But I think now is really like the perfect time to give him this major league opportunity, right? He's raking in AAA, absolutely raking. 1,200 OPS is unreal, right?
I agree.
Like, if he can translate even a little bit of that to the major leagues, like he's going to inject so much life into this lineup.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, kind of like you mentioned previously, the lack of production from the Yankees outfield so far this year, right? Sure, Miguel Andujar has come around greatly as of late, especially with his bat. His defense hasn't looked too bad either, kind of solidified himself as that starting left fielder.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people tend to forget that big hole the Yankees have in center field. Sure, Brett Gardner has come around a little bit as of late, but he's still not that long-term like center field option that you want for the rest of the season. It's just not. So I think a lot of people tend to forget Amburgey does have the ability to play center field. I believe he played a little bit of center field as recently as 2019. It looks like he played 16 games out there in 2019. So he definitely has that experience under his belt, and he would be capable of doing it at the major league level. I'm surprised they're not having him work in center field this year in AAA. I think it would make a lot of sense considering the Yankees' lack of production out there. But I think the move that the Yankees could make, which call me out if you think it's bad, I think you send down Clint Frazier just because he's been so bad so far this season at the plate. I think a little stint in AAA where he could kind of work with the coaching staff down there would be beneficial to him. And in his place, you call up Trey Amburgey. I think you don't really miss out on much, right? Because he's still a right-handed outfielder, kind of provides the same style of hitting to the lineup as Clint Frazier would. Maybe a little bit better because Trey is the hot hand at this point. Give him some starts in the outfield, see what he's capable of. And in the meantime, you have Clint Frazier working on his plate approach in AAA with some real coaching staff.
Wow. Pat, I don't think you've ever had a better idea. That is just excellent right there. No, I agree. I mean, obviously the major league coaches are not doing it for Clint, right? He's not getting out of his slump. So let's set him down. Give him an opportunity to work on his swing down in the minor leagues. We've seen so many guys get sent down to the minors and come back up stronger than ever. Like, look at Chad Green a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I know he's a pitcher, but like Same logic, right? He went down to the minors for a few weeks, worked on his stuff, and he came back and he's been so good ever since then. I think Clint kind of needs something like that. Obviously something is wrong with his swing. He's not hitting. So let him go down to the minors, work on it, and bring up a hot guy like Trey Amburgey right now and just let him rake. Let's see what he's got, right? I think that's a fantastic idea, Pat.
Thanks, Brian.
You're
That's
so
right.
smart.
No, I genuinely think it would make a lot of sense.
No, it
Simply
really
because
does.
you know how much like we love Clint Frazier, but I think
love
it's just
Clint.
getting to the point where you can't really defend him anymore.
But also like this is for Clint's best, right? It's best for Clint,
for
right?
sure.
Because it gives him an opportunity to work on his swing. Because if he can turn things around and be the Clint Frazier that we know he can be, that is such an asset for the Yankees. So I think great idea, Pat.
But you know what else it is? I
Tell
think
me.
it would be a move that would send a shockwave through the organization that would actually make these players hold some accountability.
That too.
I think it would send the message that if you're not performing up to expectations like a Clint Frazier, you're going to get sent down. And if you are performing so well at a high level in the minor leagues in AAA, like Trey Amburgey is, you're going to get rewarded for that performance.
Absolutely.
And I think that it sucks that in order for a guy like Chris Gittens to get called up, and obviously he hasn't really performed too well at the major league level yet, but I think it's a shame that in order for him to get called up, it took a Luke Voigt injury. I don't like how it takes injuries in order for these guys to get opportunities because injuries aren't guaranteed. That's why you have guys like Trey Amburgey who have a lot of talent and are 26 and still haven't gotten a major league opportunity because the Yankees tend to not give these guys the chances they deserve. They'll probably go with like a Ryan Lamar instead, which would be a huge, huge mistake. But I don't know. I think the worst thing that could happen, as far as like the Trey Amburgey situation so far this season, is if he just continues raking in AAA and the Yankees, one, don't call him up, or two, just trade him away to a team where he actually can be a major league outfielder, right? I think the worst thing that could happen is they just let him rot in AAA for the rest of the season and just have the same cycle continuing as he goes into his age 27 season next year.
Yeah, which is probably what's going to happen because we've seen that so many times in recent years with the Yankees where they just hold on to their prospects for way too long and then they have no value. So, I mean, you got to give the guy a shot, man. He's hitting too well to not give him a shot.
Bro, when a guy's batting
OPS.
almost 400 with a 1200 OPS, you got to give him a shot in the big leagues. Like, you have no choice but to do so.
Yeah.
So, Yankees, pull that trigger, call up Trey Amburgey. I guess send down Clint Frazier at the same time. I don't know. Brian likes the idea. Let me know what you guys think.
I love the idea.
We'll see. We'll see if it happens. Brian Cashman takes some notes. But with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for today. Bottom line, call up Trey Amburgey. Dudes raking. Could be a very valuable piece of the Yankees Major League lineup. But everyone, be sure, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. We're going live before and after every single Yankees game this season, so stay tuned for that content. Also, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Let's go, Yankees. Peace.